Large boardrooms are an ideal place to take care of important collaboration work, such as breakthrough ideas and new product launches. Typically, they host high-profile members of an organization whose nonverbal communications is key to the meeting. Many existing large boardrooms are currently set up with a standard single or dual display at one end of the room. A pair of PTZ cameras can easily be mounted under these displays or between them at a height of 4 to 6 feet to give good views of the people in the room. In a large boardroom, the first seats at the table are usually only a couple of feet from the monitor. For this reason, PTZ IP12s, which have a wider field of view, are recommended to be able to provide a view of the whole table if needed when no one is talking or as a scenario. As we are only using 2 cameras in this room, a standard Automate VX system is sufficient. In these type of spaces, we typically see a single ceiling array microphone. One ceiling array typically covers about a 15-foot radius. Check the microphone positions in the proximity check in the Room Designer. If a ceiling array cannot be used, table mics can be used with a DSP. Even if you're using a single ceiling microphone, it is helpful to have a DSP, as you will need to route the far-end audio of the video conferencing call to the microphones for echo cancellation. You could add an additional camera at the front as a designated wide shot. If there is a presenter at the back of the room, you would add an auto tracker camera and mount the front cameras up high enough for someone to walk in front of them, typically around 6.5 feet. The 2 PTZ cameras in the room will be on the local area network for PoE Plus power and control. They are connected to the system using HD SDI. The system is on the network to get information from the microphone and control the cameras. The microphone is sending audio and control information over the network. This is what the Automate VX reads to make camera decisions. The output of the system is HD SDI. You will need to convert that to USB if you're bringing it into a UC engine or other system running a software-based video conferencing platform. There are multiple ways to achieve this. You can use the included SDI to HDMI converter and connect it to a CONV-300. Alternately, you can get a separate SDI to USB adapter. Many existing rooms have large displays, video walls, or projection screens on one wall that hinder the ability to mount a camera at an appropriate center height for all participants. In these cases, pairs of cameras on the sides of the display or video wall allow for good views of both sides of the table. You want to have 2 pairs versus just splitting the cameras, so you have good primary and secondary shots for each position around the room. If your boardroom is bigger than a standard large conference room, you need to cover the space with more microphones. Automate VX can adapt to that scenario. In this example, we're showing a room with 2 ceiling arrays, but this could be many more than that. In this case, you will traditionally have a DSP for the room as well. The key here is to make sure that you use the proximity check in Room Designer to make sure you have the microphones in the right spots and the right number of microphones. You may need to add microphones to get the shot coverage you need. For the cameras, you will likely want to move from the 12x cameras to the 20x cameras as you get into the larger spaces. Not all meeting rooms are shaped like a standard boardroom. You'll want to validate each of your rooms in the Room Designer. You can see in this example that there are 3 ceiling arrays. If your design has a circular executive boardroom with goosenecks on the table, the circle is not a problem since you have the flexibility of cameras throughout the space. You can spread them out, or you can select 4 corners for pairs of PTZ cameras, depending on your preference. Goosenecks on the table will require a supported DSP. When you are designing the space in the Intelligent Video Room Designer, you will select your DSP from the list, and then you will place the virtual microphones in the room design where the goosenecks are physically located. The cameras all go into the system the same. The table microphones can go into the DSP either over the network, Dante for example, or analog. The Automate VX system will read the information it needs from the DSP over the network. For rooms with compatible discussion microphones, the room design should have a microphone per seat. You'll want to make sure that you have pairs of cameras where people are looking in the room. If there is a presenter on a handheld or lavalier microphone, you should use an auto tracker camera in the room. With a discussion system, all of the delegate units typically report to a central unit. Automate VX will communicate to that unit over the network to get the data that it needs for camera decisions. Some of these discussion central units have an analog option for a wireless handheld or a lavalier microphone for a presenter.